for putting together a nice little 3-0 weekend to get to this point. They've got some really good bats. Some of the guys to kind of keep an eye on. Adam Pottinger is their leading hitter this year. He's got 11 home runs. Not their home run leader, but he's got an OPS of 999. Gets on base a ton. Hits for power really well. 8 doubles, 11 home runs, a triple this year. He gets hit a lot. This is a team that is really patient at the plate. They work a lot of walks. They are not afraid to take a pitch in the arm or the leg. They're not going to jump out of the way of balls inside. They've been hit by 125 pitches this year. They've worked 230 walks this year. So this is a team that's very patient. They take incredibly good at bats. This is actually going to be a little bit of a different challenge for TCU's pitchers, I think, than what they saw from Arizona and Arkansas this weekend, where those two teams are more swing first, make good contact on that first or second fastball, and really swing for power. This is a team that's much more patient at the plate, and they're going to test some of these TCU arms that maybe lose control at times to really throw strikes consistently. So some really good bats. On the other side of things, on the mound,
their pitching
is really stout, led by a couple guys, Connor Fenlong and Miller, Lane Miller, to the guys in their rotation that have just been absolutely lights out all year. Connor Fenlong is 10-2 on the season. Lane Miller is 7-0. Actually, hasn't lost a game this year.
Their staff ERA is under 4.
Their staff ERA is under 4. This is a really good group of pitchers. They don't necessarily strike out a ton of guys. They're not afraid to pitch to contact, but they also don't walk a lot of guys either. So I just said they walk. The batters for Indiana State have earned 230 something walks this year. The pitchers have only allowed 186 walks this year, right? They've only allowed 63 home runs as a team, so they don't give up a lot of home runs, which in a hitter's park like Lupton might not really be anything out of the ordinary for them anyways. But when you've got a team like TCU who's really hitting the ball well right now and hitting for a little bit of power, that's something to think about. So this is an Indiana State team that should not be overlooked, that should not be underrated, because they are an incredibly good baseball program. They've collected a lot of really good talent, a lot of maturity on this roster, top to bottom, both in the batting lineup and on the mound.
Yeah, I think that, you almost wonder if it's a bit of a disadvantage for TCU to go to Lupton with the way that their offense has been playing when you compare what it's like hitting at Lupton versus what it's like hitting in Fayetteville on that jet stream and in Globe Life over the last couple of weeks. But yeah, I mean, you got to figure that Indiana State is going to have a little bit of an extra chip on their shoulder. They're kind of the nobody believes we should be here. And regardless of the reasons, they are going to feel a little bit jobbed of not getting to play on their home field when they make it to a regional round. So this is a team that's playing really good baseball in all 3 phases of the game. They're not going to give anything up. They're not going to be intimidated by that environment at TCU. I expect Lupton to be absolutely electric across the 3 games without a question. But I also I don't anticipate that the Indiana State is a pretty veteran group that's led by some really solid pitching, that they won't be ready to the challenge. So I think at this point you feel really good if you're a TCU or you're a TCU fan, but I wouldn't expect for the Frogs to come in and just kind of roll over the Sycamores. I think you're going to see some good battles out there.